only fill the back half the slot, so probably, but I don't have it on the top of my head, and I'm still trying to figure out what our plan is for this. This is this machine, right?
Yeah, you can present from here. I'll screen share from here.
Huh?
I'll screen share this. You can do whatever. This is
Oh, I see what you're trying to do. Okay. That's
anybody who wants to present stuff can just join this. Anyway.
Yeah. An approach.
That's I want to. Oh, it's right here.
Yeah. Well, but the other thing is, if we had 2 people, I was going to do the What is Linux presentation, but I don't think we do. So we may skip over that, and I'll save it for a rainy day, next semester or something. I mean, I think I did a reasonably good job on the presentation, so we can add some polish and save it for next semester.
The audio on this works.
So,
oh, it works.
Is it on the?
This is what we're doing.
Just didn't have.
So we get this
the reason to use my machine would be if I want to try out some of those commands and you don't have them installed, I can instance a Nix shell really easily on my machine.
Which should I get?
Well, actually, hold on, never mind. Does anyone know? Can you do SSH peer-to-peer over the campus Wi-Fi or block that traffic? Cool. Okay, cool. So you're about to see something very. Oh shit! There's not an SSH server on this. Just a client.
This is probably. I'm looking at these commands. They look nothing special. And I have this Flox on here. If you want to use Flox.
Yeah.
What? This is a
Flox install anything.
We're getting there.
I applied for.
You can do Flox install blah blah blah, and it'll pull it from Nix.
What's Flox?
It's a wrapper.
An imperative interface to Nix.
I see.
I mean,
You know Nix has an imperative interface.
sorry. Normally.
Yeah, it's atrocious, but all imperative interfaces are definitionally bad.
I think this isn't actually imperative. Like, it has a declarative backend that modifies imperatives.
I see.
Unlike Big Set.
I used to compile my own version of Grub simply to change one string literal while you guys are talking about source compilation. Add a new line. To add a missing new line to the prompt for my oldest encryption password.
That has bothered me. If it's longer, then it expects sometimes like it starts the password in the middle of the text.
There's lots of issues with it, but there was one particular one.
Yeah, this one is like push the cursor like in the middle of the text. Why do you do it with this like sometimes the Windows UI is so bad.
Is this thing on?
What if like a bar? It's not a Are we gonna fill in the remaining of the calendar today?
Probably not.
In Windows 7, shouldn't we?
Why?
So that we know what to do.
Oh yeah, good point. So then I guess.
I mean, I don't want to have to start thinking on Monday what to do, but it's just too late to get people to give a comment.
Yeah, that's fair. So we'll do that then. Yeah. So.
Wait, you want to look at you rub into it to look like it too. Oh, you can also do a splash screen like the Windows 7 splash screen. Use it on my oh yeah. Then
Why does your computer think it's 306?
Wait, is that not your machine?
It's not my machine.
let's see, 9 hours ahead or 3 hours behind. That's like California time, right?
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
3 hours is Alaska.
Oh yeah.
But is that 24 hours? So it should be 24-hour time. So that's actually
Well, just because it's 0 pad, it doesn't mean it's 24-hour time.
that is true. I suppose.
You're a psycho.
Well, you already know how I feel about people who use 12 hours. No,
So why are you on that?
We are minus
Yeah.
it's good.
I don't free screen share doesn't work. Oh, that's awesome. It should be like, I think it should be like one.
Do
people like stop your watch? I feel like the same issues I've heard about my entire life.
some of them are fixed.
Are the same like it's literally like nothing has been fixed. Like I mean I don't pay that much attention, but I don't know. Like I feel like the book like should be like the two now. I feel like the same problems.
But you look deep into it.
None of them.
One needs
Like,
to be,
not
yes,
one of
yeah.
them.
I knew was that I presume you won't be the wrong one. What's the policy effect?
What was that? Oh, it's sick policy next door this time?
Huh?
It's sick policy next door.
Yeah. Just now when I went there, when they were one of the doors standing outside, and I was like, who would they have people coming to the car? And they were the same
I could also show off the language model.
Okay, sorry, guys, I'm a little mentally distant today. It's been a long day. What?
We need to pad time and show off that language model thing.
I need a fucking gavel. Guys, sorry, I didn't have a gavel. But I can clap loudly.
Well, yeah, so like,
Almost. It was. Okay, so I don't think we actually have any new people because I'm
never mind.
Well, I think we had one person the other way, so. I don't think does the policy still exist.
That was like a semester ago.
Yeah, fair enough. It's a shame because I wanted to go to SIG robotics meetings, but then they picked this time. Yeah. So because since we don't have any new people, so I'm probably just gonna skip the what is Linux presentation unless you all really want me to really want to see me explain something that I'm guessing is very trivial and obvious to everybody. So please don't do that to me. What was that?
Yeah.
What was that?
I wrote macOS, so I don't know what it's called.
Should we do the show and tell first? He's got something.
No.
I've got something.
Okay. If we're skipping the what is Linux presentation, the itinerary is what we said we were going to do, which is shell one-liners, and then filling out the schedule. Because I wanted to wait until after open house in case we had new people, but now that that's said and done, we should really finish filling it out, or at least more finish filling it out. I don't think we have anything for next week, so at the very least, like the next couple weeks should probably get filled. What window manager is this?
5.3.
Okay.
And it's caps lock.
Right. Yeah, holding down the space key causes a sudden spike in CPU temperature, which is registered as control. Oh right, it's I3, so you still have the weird key bindings. Okay.
Should use the air keys too. No, that's illegal. This is
Just-
we have to use the mouse
Do
anyway.
you want me to get arthritis? What the hell?
Fine, we can use a little bit of mouse. There, like
Well, also keep in mind, it's the ThinkPad that doesn't actually, is this one that doesn't have a trackpad?
it does. It's just not a very good one. No offense.
Oh, I think if it had like the right thing.
So wait, why is your? My apologies.
You're showing all my stuff.
Well, this This is what you get for me not knowing how to operate your computer.
Yeah.
You're brave.
I use many. Okay, can we please turn it to dark mode? Mine defaulted to dark mode. Why do you hate us?
It must be reading that.
System default, yeah. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. Thank you for sharing with the class. So these are community submissions of shell one-liners. I think many of you submitted. But most of these I am seeing for the first time because I saw that you guys had formatted them all nicely in a markdown file, and I was like, great, it'll be a surprise for me. I'm starting to think this was a mistake because if this
Stacks would still be pretty funny. But
We don't have to run the first one.
yeah, my
You actually filled this document out.
I mean it was collaborative. I just posted it, anyone can edit, or not I, but anyone can edit. Link was
So this
posted,
is
and I
like the firing squad where no soldier knows which one's bullet actually killed.
exactly.
Well,
I think we do know specifically who put this one here.
oh, okay.
See my version of this command because I have something that does a similar thing, except it doesn't exit. If you want to exit, you then just type exit, but it's just like a double fork background. Mine is called leak because it's like a memory leak, but it's a process leak. But yeah, it's a useful command. While we're doing them, fucking eventually. So that it doesn't close out of the terminal, I'm gonna. Okay, what's a fun command we would like to incur on this computer?
XIs or X clock or something, right?
That's a good one.
That's what
I forgot that it doesn't really like tiling window managers. Let me see if I can.
I mean,
Caps lock U.
this looks like it's working plenty well to me.
Yeah, except where are the pupils?
They're just very light. They're just great.
Why are they so light?
Genetics.
All right, we got a lot of commands to go through.
Yeah,
This is
okay,
not
fair
very
enough.
interesting.
What's your close window?
W, caps lock W.
Every time.
Oh, nice. Caps lock apostrophe. Caps lock apostrophe.
What the? Every time you're like, this is this. Anyways, okay, I'm not gonna run them all. I just let's see.
What's the next one?
I did.
Tell us why.
I was gonna say, what is the
because
point?
base name can't do this for some stupid reason. It can't strip off just the extension on a full path. It will just give you like the file stem. It'll give you BOS, and then that's it. And there's no options to get the full path. You could like manually combine it with some other stupid stuff, but
We're using like dir name and whatnot, but what is the use case for this?
if you're just like writing a quick loop in Bash or something to rename a bunch of files or do something like that.
Convert, you can use it for conversion.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough.
would this not work for .emacs.d like that folder? Something inside of that. Since there's a dot earlier than that.
I don't know what will actually happen. I don't
No,
understand
that
Bash very
actually, that will remove the last period.
well. Okay. That's
Oh.
actually
Yeah.
What if it doesn't have file extension? Will it just not do
And then
anything?
it'll just go find the last one.
Okay, that
It might.
I prevailed.
It doesn't parse the path. It's just
Sure.
string manipulation.
Yeah.
Okay, Google Doc image copy. This one I'm gonna be saving for later because I can't remember how many times I've had this. It's clever. Who put this one? XDG open. This one's a.
This is a command.
Yeah, it is a useful command.
super useful.
Unless like me, you never bothered to set up your XDG config and it gets deleted every time you reboot. You can alias open to XDG open if you are so inclined.
That is the backlog line.
The bash one-liner is alias open XDG open. Git repo size.
something, something.
No,
You wanna
there's
test that
difference
on
because do you,
repo?
so you
Not
can
really.
get, that's not precise enough. Because there's some.
I think
I don't
it's
know
more
if
fun
it's
to have
some
people
objects
talk
that
about
are
them than
like-
just show each one. Like people can run them on their own time. I think
There's
the
some parts of
banter is
your,
better use of time.
Like hard truth.
I think it's just like if you have like some kind of other,
Ooh, play web console in. Okay, this one I am kind of curious.
Do the first one. Also press caps lock on V to put in vertical mode, so it doesn't, whatever, it doesn't matter. It does vertical splitting instead of horizontal.
I guess. I mean, assuming your keybinds are default, I do actually know i3 key bindings.
Already go.
That's
Okay.
some.
Is this like printing to the terminal?
Yes, this is a terminal window.
But it's not like the kitty like.
No.
It's not kitty graphics, but it does use some fancy,
I mean, it uses true
fancy
color.
features.
Is it using just like Unicode box drawing?
I don't think so. Maybe for the individual cells, but
Yeah.
somehow it colors them using ANSI codes or something.
Well, yeah, you can do full 8-bit RGB color with modern codes, and it looks like the cells are each just it's just doing 1 by half box, so background and foreground. So you get
It's Unicode plus ANSI.
so yeah, your max resolution is going to be what? Columns wide by rows times 2 high. Although in this case, I think it's going to be the the smaller of those two within your aspect ratio. That's cool. Your scroll is backwards. My condolences. Use caps lock as I3W who lives / sway mod. I wonder who put this one here.
Yeah, and also that's how you turn on compose key. If you are bringing up the Windows key, you can use Windows key as compose key.
I use my right alt key as my compose key because
It's turned on here for right alt as well. But if you don't have compose key turned on, regardless of what your mod key is, you should turn it on. It lets you write Unicode stuff really easily in accents and things.
Yep.
In a terminal.
Or just any text field that doesn't have like a convenient Unicode picker. I'm gonna look at this later because I do use my compose key a lot, and that looks cool. Right, it's backwards. So what is this? How does this work?
UIUC runs an open email relay that if you're on the LAN, it will accept emails anonymously, and you can send them out to addresses. So like you can use this in notification scripts and things to yourself.
I see. But consider the point that notification would come from Outlook, which may cause psychic damage.
I have like a general question, like, does anybody have like another, like, does anybody use Matrix to send notifications from command lines? Like,
You use like, you use commander. There's a CLI for it.
okay, but like, I'm wondering, like, what does everybody use to notify?
You can even do curl.
Y'all are getting notified?
My server is like, you get the cool ones.
I used to use Telegram because it had like NTP wide, right? It has integration with a bunch of different backends, but I wanted to switch to Matrix.
Fair enough.
We're using Chrome.
Is your matrix even open half the time though? It feels like your responsiveness to me would indicate otherwise. Every now and then I feel like should I just Discord message him? Would that be faster? Get env. I'll work out how to use your computer one of these days, I promise. Get env as JSON. I mean that checks out.
Yeah, what's nice is that you could use it to like apply your ENV later on using the next block of code. Like,
Could you not use JQ for this also?
I think not, because how do you get the environment variables as JQ, considering that they could have new lines and equal signs in them? Like, I think we're confused. So it's easier to use a programming language, like a scripting language. And so
A
the second-
real program.
Yeah, a real programming language. lastly, there's a script that's linked that will bisect your environment until it finds the set of variables that make some command work. Like assuming it works in the full environment, it doesn't in the little environment.
I see. Let's see, okay.
Yeah, reordering is, you assume ordering doesn't matter.
Who's the Perl person?
So I had to write that strategy once.
If you can't rely on ordering, are you able to bisect it?
Yeah, what's it set? Oh, what do you, so there's.
Well, how do you determine what happened?
I'm skipping Perl. I don't like Perl.
What, someone should be doing that.
Yeah, okay. Who's got the Perl contributions? I don't know Perl. You wanna explain what this does?
Actually, more efficient than often said. It's the standard for all other languages in terms of what the regex syntax is. So you should learn it. It's good. These are just some useful, one-liner scripts you can do. So this one, for example, will add up all the values in the last field of every line. You have to replace CSV or something. This will replace awk. The rest of them are better for like mass search or place. We use the first one. I'll flesh that out for the example. So it's typing this up before heading over here. But the first one will sort of EAE will just print out what the searches are, and I guess they didn't title it, but the next one will actually do the in place replacement.
That's cool. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, I knew that like a lot of the regex standards were typically like everyone supports Perl regex syntax. I never learned Perl because frankly I didn't want to.
Well, if you know awk, the first one looks a lot.
Yeah. Just for the example that showed, yes, it can cover all the different cases.
Fair. I also don't use awk.
You should use Perl.
Is there a fundamental reason?
Wait, what do you use
for that on?
For what? Like
Small binary.
find and replace?
Syntax.
Sed, or if I can't do it with sed, Python. Or if I'm feeling, or sometimes new shell, because you can define pretty complicated parse syntax to actually just like, generally it's like if I can't do it in sed, it should probably get parsed into structured data and stop just doing text manipulation. Is generally my take.
My heuristic is sort of shell script until you need to use an array. If you're working with parsing text files, it should be Perl, and then anything else kind of needs more of a robust language.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, we all have different problem points. Like I would even for CSVs, because like what if your CSV has a string field that's got a comma in it?
It also depends on if you're doing a one-off parse
That's true.
or if you're trying to write something that you expect to work in the future.
It's like to taste.
So I have a public question. Anyone have a tool they use to mass rename files?
Python.
Yeah,
I
bash.
use a find like advanced stuff.
Oh, yeah, fine. FD dash exec will sometimes fun.
Bash is like a hammer with a gun teeth.
Yeah. Now we're out of.
Oh, okay. I wrote that. So also this shows where you would get aliases. Get aliases like bash alias, but only for Git. So like you type Git LG and it goes to like your alias. So you can actually copy this one of the lines without after the equal sign at the right hand side and put it after Git, and it will like show you if you want to test it out. If Evan is so willing to provide.
Are you willing to share your commit log of any of your repositories with us?
Sure. Go to CD. Oh, yeah, once you copy it.
There's a button you can put the copy.
But I don't want to copy the whole thing. I just want to copy this part. Okay.
CD resources /python pass.
Ah, that's why I was not getting completions.
What? It was everybody.
Okay, that's kind of hard to follow. I think it probably needs a little bit more span, like vertical.
So this is like log status.
Yeah,
This is like magnet output.
git log with actual little like branches. That's, I gotta admit, for vanilla Git, that's pretty good. What are we doing on time? Okay. I'm skipping some for time because I still want to have time to do scheduling. But yeah, it was cool. The showing the branch lines. What? Yes, that's I'm skipping to this one. Because a lot of the other ones were like, hey, SSH and has a lot more features than you think, which is true. But I invite you to read the SSH man page on your own time. So yeah, I've never heard of. No, it's not that one. Well, the issue is that I keep pressing the Windows key. So I suppose we should Okay, would anyone else would someone like to compose a message for us to upload?
Hello from the future.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't it be hello from the past?
No.
Okay. I hope. Do you have GCC on this thing? What's the command to just do like a hardware dump?
Oh, is it dump machine?
Yeah.
Nothing else.
You're just gonna like leak all of them.
Oh, that's boring. I thought there's a lot
Just do
more.
neofetch or something.
Neofetch is deprecated.
Wait, is it?
Yeah, well, it's no longer actively maintained.
Type
So.
that into term bin.
Not sure that will work properly, so
Yeah,
I'm actually very curious now. Okay, so you got Netcat?
Yeah. The step at the bottom is gonna break.
Oh, for sure. Is it gonna tell us what the URL we need is?
The shortcut for opening is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So that's not really surprising. What I'm curious though is if we did it, like obviously yes, there's a bunch of ANSI control symbols in there.
Probably
Just curl that.
But I'm just curious if we curl it.
How do you strip ANSI stuff from a file? It's never
Oh, it's
nice.
complicated.
Oh yeah, it's so
You
complicated.
have to parse it.
Yeah,
There's so much to write.
we didn't go through and just decide that ANSI escape codes are not quite Turing complete, but they're close.
Yeah, I don't know what you said.
Is there math in codes? You can almost make like there's something on a control flow. If you know like the brain F language, you can like almost make that because you can control like where your cursor is found.
Yes, if it has, so you can move the cursor and you can change the value where your cursor is. The only thing is there's no way to read the value under your current cursor. If there was a code that did that in some way, it would be Turing complete.
But you need a conditional too. But we said it had one.
It.
You can, I think you can, because you can't read under the cursor, you can evaluate all your conditions for the second time.
You could read under the cursor if you want.
Well, yeah, but
You can be Turing. Anyway,
Anyways, yes, it is. In order, ANSI escape codes are complicated. And you're better off just finding whatever flag disables them or using someone else's tool if you need to strip them out. What's this wormhole thing? This actually looks interesting to me.
It's great. Yeah, it's like Netcat, but it's peer-to-peer and it's encrypted, end-to-end encrypted. So if you want to send something securely to one person, you do wormhole send that, and it gives you this code 7 crossover clockwork in this case. You have your peer type in wormhole receive 7 crossover clockwork. and then it'll end-to-end encryptively send that over.
And this is
How does he know what to? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Wait, they're not.
wait.
But it's not, it's like, it's not peer-to-peer, but it's end-to-end.
Okay, so that my next question was like, is it truly peer-to-peer? Do the devices need to be able to route to each other independently?
You can use the stun.
Yeah, you use, server has to do a handoff, and then once you do a handoff, I think they go.
Yeah, but so there is a centralized server that will do handoff.
I don't know.
There's public ones, Firefox Send, Mozilla, Google has.
Oh, is this what Firefox Send is under the hood?
So WebRTC uses stun in turn to get through NATs.
Well, I just do everything with SCP over VLAN because all my devices. Because I
CP, like, you need to be able to have the port open on the remote and access it, like, what if you're both buying NATs? Like, what if I'm trying to send to you over different networks?
well, yeah, that's what I was like asking. Like, does this solve that problem? It sounds like yes, it does.
They just post a server that makes handoffs. It doesn't.
Yeah, it brokers connections, but it doesn't store the data. Yes. There's several protocols that work similar. Like if you've used Tailscale VPN or the self-hosted version, similar product Nebula, which I just set up and I'm very happy with it. It's a similar idea where you create a virtual LAN where all your devices can route to each other by having a central server that brokers connections, but the actual like traffic is peer-to-peer. Okay, that's very cool. Let's move on.
What do you use as the central server for your?
For my Nebula instance, $4 a month DigitalOcean droplet. Since the traffic doesn't go through it, it just brokers connections. It takes a tiny amount of resources. So like even the half a gig of RAM, 1 CPU core, 10 gigs of storage, like $4 a month DigitalOcean droplet is significantly overkill for the amount of resources it needs.
You wormhole over Tor as well. That's kind of cool.
How much time do you have?
Yeah. Like, is this really going to be fast? And it still depends on a centralized relay.
Generally, okay, I don't know how wormhole works, but are you asking about Nebula or? Most of the things that work like this, I know Tailscale and Nebula works this way. If it's well designed, I would guess wormhole does. Since the connection is simply brokered, once you have the connection brokered, you just say, I'm trying to get to this device. The routing should be able to route it. It should not need to route it through the central, like the broker node. I know on Nebula, because I can see the network traffic on my Lighthouse instance, on my Lighthouse machine. The actual traffic does not get, after the initial connection, the actual traffic does not get routed through it. It gets routed over the network in whatever is the most direct route.
Like a turn relay, or turn server on that.
Yeah, it uses, I think, a turn relay, and then it's peer-to-peer, and anyway.
This is mine. We talked about DNS stuff, self-hosting with a non-static address. This is a script that will update your either name sheet or port fund domain. It's just a single post request, or it's actually a GET request. One of them is post, one of them is GET. It's pretty simple, and you just stick this in a systemd service and with a timer, like hourly or something.
Can you use this?
Yeah,
Very cool.
So this is how you do DDNS?
yeah,
How often is your IP sending?
like a few times a year at most.
Very cool. Copy dir and SSH.
This is mine. If you're want to run something remotely, like copy the current working directory to a remote, run it on the remote, and then copy the change back down. It's a shortcut for like those 3 things. I don't know where it's.
Hold on, I'll scroll down in a second. My computer is having.
So when I was working on a remote, like a big remote system, and I had like a tiny laptop, like I would use this like synchronize, like do the compile on the remote, and then copy the result back.
Who wrote that?
I think we know who wrote that. imperative equals bad full stop could only be written by one of two people in this room, and I didn't write it.
Yeah. It's, you also, then you can use exec instead of system, like if you're.
Why?
Imperative is bad because it changes, so now like if you copy something else, like from above to below, like it changes the state, and that's not gonna probably not gonna work if you copy. That's like pay attention to like what commands are above you. You can't just copy freely. But this like tells you, oh, run this command in this directory, run that command in that directory. So you can like copy them freely. Like,
Imperative is bad because it introduces state, and state is bad because
you have to remember it.
yeah, because
But what if you have the state displayed in front of you?
Well,
No, in a shell script, for example.
yeah. Also, you don't have to go through SH. Like if
Yeah.
you're benchmarking something, which we want recently lately, you can do a raw exec instead of going through the shell, which costs initialization. Where you read your bash RC.
okay, so I would say this is very useful for scripting and probably overkill for interactive use. Let's see.
It's as cinema.
I don't want to know.
It's for screencasting terminal. I
Like yeah, it's put that out. It like records. It's like records a video of your screen, but it's entirely text based. So like you do it in your terminal, it records like it plays like a video, it functions like a video, but it's like, and you can copy and paste. If you hit the pause button on the video, you can, if you go to their website, you can literally copy and paste, like hit play on this video, and then you pause it at some point. It's actually all just pure text. So that's really cool. So you can make these like demos, and then you can say, oh, and they're copy pastable demos.
Is this what you're like?
Kind of, yeah. I mean,
This reminds me of the like 124. I think 124 uses this.
so and also like a lot of people have demos on GitHub. They'll like have an iframe to this, so that's how that works.
Very cool. Fortune by Kause. I think
Yeah,
that.
both of those.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
That would have been scary.
What is fortune again? Yeah, what is fortune?
why does this not work? What terminal is this that this isn't working? What shell is this?
Control C, just Control C. It's bash.
Imagine. Anyways,
Oh, you have to.
It's Fox installed.
nice.
I don't get it.
That's
Fortune just generates text, and Cowsay sticks it in a bubble.
I mean, it's got to be English.
So fortune just makes code.
Fortune, yeah.
So what does cow say by itself though?
Oh yeah, I also have a Fortune extension that generates Turkish sometimes.
No, I know what code it does, but like how is this an improvement of the regular code?
That's what Kause does. He just takes text and wraps it in a Kause. Anyways, moving on. I think haven't we seen this before? Try new test run.
Don't do that on my machine.
What is the LIN?
But that doesn't work if you don't preserve root.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah, hold on. Hold on.
I figured it wouldn't work, but I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
Try to cheat that.
Wait, does the and work if concept aren't filled?
No, that's what the and means.
Somebody try it.
But then,
I have RMRF'd my machine before just to see what would happen, but I'm not gonna do it.
With the old alias RM to like move to trash can, like in the free desktop, it's pretty good. Good hack right in.
Alias doesn't tell me to use trash instead.
Oh, that's even better. So you just have it.
Thank you. Do something else.
Well, that's what
Mine
it
is
is.
to use trash instead of using RM. And then I did.
Yeah, and if you really want to use RM because of weird privileges or something, you can always just do command RM. I choose to live dangerously, so I just use RM. But I also have snapshots from every 15 minutes.
There's a command called trash CLI.
Which one did you want to see?
That one, the one your cursor's on.
Yeah, this is cool. I've looked at this before.
Yeah, it's an open standard for free desktop. When you make the terminal bigger.
Yeah, I think that might be required. Yeah, cheat.sh is it's really cool. It's basically just a bunch of man page like documentation, but that's oriented as like if you don't already know 90% about this program, like man pages tend to be very dense and very technical. So these are like community maintained
And
man
also
pages that are more
language.
tutorial
Like
oriented.
Stack Overflow snippets. for
Yep.
languages.
For sure. It's a good tool. I think at that point, I'm gonna call it.
What's the last one? I've never seen it before.
This is what I set up for my polygon. It works
What happens if
sometimes,
we-
but not all the time.
I don't think I have a tool.
Yeah, you need to install it.
Okay.
In that case, some other time.
There's 0 chance it's injected, but
You have the tool.
it's in my whip.
You can join the call and share your screen.
Ow. My history.
Jenna, if you can show the call,
What?
Adi can join the call.
We're moving on.
Zilch.
Do you have push access for this?
Do you have push? I'm sure Evan does.
This?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you do?
But we should make a pull request.
No, I'm gonna edit master directly. Okay, so yes, this is what our current schedule looks like, and the time is upon us to finish filling it out.
Next week, I'll present SMS LLM for 10 minutes.
SMS LLM, I assume those words, those acronyms.
Explain the 423
Yes, hold on. SMS,
With a plus blink. It's just a blink.
Yeah.
Minus, we do blink.
I can show my, my Pomodoro thing.
so I
this
can't,
time.
who am I putting down for presenter on this one?
Evan, Lucian, so.
All vowels sound the same to me, I'm sorry. Okay, and what do you want to talk about?
My research. By that time I'll be finished, so I can finally talk about.
Okay, would you like to give me a title or a topic?
Yeah, title, heterogeneous compilers.
Do you hate me?
E before the O, but you got close.
Who was the one who suggested sysRQ last week? I forgot.
So, sorry, what?
Someone suggested sysRQ from last week.
Oh,
yeah,
sys
that was-
request.
That was me and Evan.
Yeah, so I have some different deadlines, so I want to commit myself to that.
Yeah, we can find a different time.
We also,
Um,
next week needs something else besides just my 5-minute demo.
Yeah, put in Orbital's, Pomodoro timer.
how do I spell that?
Pomodoro.
Almost.
Not all at the same time, or I can't hear any of you.
Pomodoro.
Okay,
I think that's the study method.
anyone want something for February?
I was gonna say for the meeting right before spring break, we should do another one of those game-based ones, right?
Yeah, but did you have something in mind?
We have done Jeopardy and Quiz Bowl, but if anyone can think of any other format that would be fun, I'm down. Else you can just leave it as Jeopardy for now.
To be honest, we did Jeopardy last time. It's not important.
I feel like that would have happened. But down,
Create spelling.
Like someone tells you, people
Total-
they get easier, they get harder as time goes on.
I do. I used to use a MacBook too. The MacBook got replaced when it was time to replace it, and this will also get replaced when it's time to replace it.
name the thing that. Hot 12.
I'm good.
They're actually not bad.
Yeah, I can do it.
When do you want to do that?
Yeah, do it. When you gonna do it? Last time, do it.
Yeah, I did. 226.
What does the show?
Is this like
What is the
W
full
or
subject?
So we need the
That was just, yeah.
326, you said?
226.
Oh, okay.
Windows is going to it's all pretty cool for us.
What's your compose key again?
Microsoft Windows using.
Windows.
Oh, yeah. Do you have a compose for registered trademark?
Just get TM.
But it's not the same.
Why Windows?
I don't know what it does.
I took some creative liberty.
Who's doing that?
Who's giving that thought?
Are you gonna put down Ari or do you want to put down the
Yes.
So go to Ari for
Is
this
this
one.
about do it though?
Can I spell that?
I
Sorry.
do real Windows programming, ARI.
Okay.
Why are you, okay.
Some people more appreciate the Windows
You put
programming.
it in front of the border.
Oh, whoops. I can't. I'm sorry, guys. I just can't today. It would seem.
Does anyone have any ideas for the game? On the mouth? I mean, if not, we're gonna go with name the acronym, and I think that's pretty nice. Or like,
That works.
Some trivia online.
yeah, I mean, we don't have to decide like right now.
That would actually make things like it.
Guess what this bash command, the shell command does?
Yeah.
Something and a bunch of.
Shell command Russian roulette, anyone?
Wait, why there was like secret URL or
I don't think it'll be a secret, man. Just saying.
Yeah.
You could put these on for like software defined radio.
Yeah, I'm gonna remove that one. So this dude I'm taking class with at Parkland who some interesting stuff with in the past did interesting stuff with implementing networking stacks and FPGAs, and I considered I asked him if he'd be willing to do a talk, and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm too busy. So
Why is that guy teaching at Parkland?
I don't know. Genuinely, no clue. He used to work at like before this, he worked at Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So some people, man.
He's a chill guy.
He's an intelligent person.
Maybe he just wants to take a step down from the.
Maybe he really wants. Maybe he really likes teaching. Like I'm not trying to diss on his decision to teach. I'm dissing on other things about him.
You know my name, though.
Oh, sorry. Just Russell. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked.
Jen,
Yes.
I'll give a talk on FPGA networking.
Oh,
There you go.
Sure. When do you want to talk about FPGA?
Right there, the March 26th.
The one after.
Okay. I was hoping to do my linkers and loaders talk then, but honestly, it's less effort for me. So,
I need a little bit of
or you could replace the Holy Trinity of Linux.
no.
No.
As I said, I get to talk about whatever I want on my birthday.
What is the Holy Trinity of Linux? Okay, actually,
I love how everyone else in the room just went, stop talking. Like so?
I think
Oh,
that's
No, you're good.
Can't hear, apparently. I'm really struggling today, guys. Okay, I mean, that's pretty good.
There's an open source game that we can hop on a queue.
We could do if people enjoy open source game night, I'm not opposed to doing two. If we want to add more games and still keep the classics.
We always have to do Super Tux card.
Yes.
That's a mandatory.
Yes, we always have to do a Super Tux cart as a game of a open source night per semester. But if people want to try more games, have game suggestions, and enjoy that, I think we could do two. We could do one the week before spring break and one the week before the finals. How do people feel about that?
Sure.
I'd like to just recommend this one.
What is it?
You do right before spring break.
Is it cute
Yeah.
engine?
It should be
Yeah.
memory.
So I'll
and
run
super
Yeah,
disc,
that
right?
Oh, we play it every,
Should
we
we
play
have
that every
cards?
game.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we do.
100
So every game night we
You
do
weren't
Super
there?
Dance Squad and so.
No, I don't think so.
I memory.
What was
Max is 20 bots.
What was this, last semester?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, the max is 20 bots. You can use memory editor and increase that to like 100 or whatever,
Yeah.
like 200.
That's
We
what
did
I
that.
think most women.
How was
It's
it?
just like at the starting line, you like stretch almost halfway around the map. Just cards.
Did any of the non-bots win?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
We can kill that. We can kill it on one of the open source game nights if we later in the semester are hurting for time slots. But
I think sometime in February or March we can get an NCS 8 for.
okay, so we'll expect for one of those. I mean, we've got what 2 weeks worth, and then we'll need something on the
Yeah,
19th.
let's leave some open gaps.
Yeah, so I'd say this is probably, we'll leave some open space. We need a D and Z around the windows.
What
There's
is
nothing.
what is voice on?
Microsoft registered, Windows, yeah.
Okay, bro.
Sorry.
You know how like Intel processors on like Task Manager always show up with like 3 copyright symbols and a registered?
Yeah.
Genuine, registered, Intel, trademark, CPU, copyright registered. It's always like,
Yeah, that's kind of the same vibe I'm going for.
yeah.
Does it happen next to like if you have like topper, like B topper?
Well, with that, it is 54, so I think we can chat for a little bit, but in terms of the meeting, call it here.
LasVegas.com was purchased in installments and is going to be around like 2005 to 35 years of debt for LasVegas.com.
Yes, it is acceptable. They're like really popular in
35 years
Taiwan
of debt for a website, okay.
So website is ass.
Most of them are, fun fact.
Yeah, my website's pretty good.
Lucian. I feel like you will do this one, but I'll really drop
Wait, Audi, 12 grand for Audi. Is that an investment?
I thought Audi was that right for. I thought my domain was like
Yeah, what's the amount?
15 a year.
Like, no, yeah, that's what I did compared to Audi. I thought you got Audi.
Not negative.